We have some leather seats with some serious problems. We're going to see if we've got the fix. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. Okay, in our shop truck build, we're dealing with a leather interior that's, well, seen its better days. Now, we're replacing the front two seats, and this is one of them, but the back seats are pretty nice, so we're going to clean up the leather and see if it will be at least presentable so that we can use it. And we think it will be, but it's got some nastiness on it. I don't know how else to describe that other than it's just pretty badly dirty, years of use, and you get probably some Coke spilled in it and that sort of thing. Well, what we have here is Hyper Cleanse, and I believe it's Hyper Cleanse Remove. And it's from a company called Lithium Auto Elixirs. Now, you can buy them on Amazon. They also have a website. And it's not cheap products, but they swear that it's the best you'll ever use, or they'll give you your money back. I think it says no kidding, no whining, no joke, or something like that. But anyway, so no questions, no whining, no kidding. So apparently they're pretty serious about it. Now, it's pretty simple to use. We're going to use it on our back seat that, as I mentioned, it's pretty nasty. We'll do a split line, do a before after. Then we'll clean the rest of the seat and see what you think about it. Then we'll come back and talk about performance of this as well as the price and, well, I just told you, the warranty. Be right back. Okay, let me explain a little bit before we get to cleaning on this seat. This is a leather seat, factory seat from Chevrolet that came in their Silverado trucks. This is the rear seat. Now, this is pretty much the same in most of your manufactured vehicles, at least here in the United States, and most of your foreign stuff too, unless you're getting into really hypercar stuff, luxury car stuff, what have you. But even a lot of your luxury cars are built this way. Here's what I mean. So even though these are leather seats, all of this is not leather. And that's something good to know, especially when you go to cleaning on them. So what typically happens is this here is leather. So again, we're talking about the back seat. So this is leather here. Now this part here is what would face the door. So the door of the truck would be right here where you get in and out all the time, where it kind of takes a beating. And a lot of times on the driver's side, you'll see these bolsters that are tearing out. These are made of vinyl. Vinyl's a little more resilient, can hold up a little better. So typically your outsides, your boxings, your bolsters are made of vinyl, and that's the case right here. And you can tell there's a different texture in this material versus this material. So here you're dealing with leather, here you're dealing with vinyl. Up here on the headrest, again, is vinyl. Right here you're still leather, but here again on the front, on all the boxing here, all this is vinyl. So number one, they're going to save money where they can and not have to use leather everywhere. And number two, they know that vinyl is going to take a little more beating, again, when you're getting in and out of those vehicles. Now, typically on the driver's front seats, they'll still put leather right here just because it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb like it does here on the back seats, and they don't want to get a bad rap of using that. That's my understanding anyway. So anyway, my point is you can't just throw any degreaser on leather and get away with it. You'll get, like you see this running right here, it's probably some type of all-purpose cleaner. Now sometimes it's not going to hurt it, but most of the time if you put a heavy degreaser that you can get away with vinyl and cleaning it, put it on leather, it will make it splotchy. You'll literally see spots in it. In fact, I can see spots on this, whether it's showing up in the camera or not. And a lot of times those spots will not come out. You will actually hurt the dye that's on this leather. As you know, you've never seen a cow that looks this exact tan color. So a lot of this has a coloring on top of it, and it's kind of impregnated into the leather, if you will. And you can hurt that by throwing any degreaser on there. So we need something that's going to clean this, that's going to be able to clean the vinyl, clean the leather, without affecting the leather, so that we can come back and condition the leather after we're done. So we picked up what we heard is some really good stuff. It's made by a company called Lithium. I don't believe they make batteries. But anyway, it's called Hyper Cleanse, and then it looks like it may have a sub-name named Remove. So anyway, it's their Hyper Cleanse Remove product. They say it's an all-purpose cleaner, and they say it works great on leather. So we are going to see if it does and see if it works on vinyl. By the way, I'll read you the directions here. Spray directly onto the surface and wipe clean. For really tough stains, allow Hyper Cleanse to remain on the surface for 10 to 15 seconds, then buff out with a hot, wet microfiber towel. For leather, remember to finish the job with a good treatment of Hide Rehab or Leather Love. Looks like they have some products for that as well. We don't have their products for the conditioning. We have something else we'll throw on there. But regardless, we wanted to see how well it would clean. And as you can tell, we got some pretty nasty stains here. And to start this out, we're going to go ahead and throw a piece of tape down half of this, and we'll clean this side, leave this side so we can kind of check a before after, and then we'll finish cleaning it all and get some good pics and video of that as well. So here goes, let's see how it works. Okay, we've actually let this sit for a couple of minutes now. We're going to come back and kind of reapply, re-wet it just a touch, and clean section by section. Let's see how it does. Okay, looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and peel the tape and paper off of here and see what kind of difference we've got. Pretty phenomenal difference. Now, obviously, you could argue that other cleaners might clean it, and that is the case. However, this definitely did a great job, and I really don't see any splotchiness in the leather. That's really what I was looking for. Did a nice uniform clean, and we left it on there way longer than they recommend. So again, I like to see that the product's really not hurting the leather or the vinyl for that matter. So it's cleaning the vinyl very well as cleaning the leather and not staining the leather. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and clean up the rest of this seat and see how it turns out. Okay, so definitely an amazing difference. I would not call it perfect by any means, but really the only spots, like if you can see this spot here, which you probably can, most of these spots are where the dye has worn through, so something scratched it and actually scratched the top layer of leather off, or the dye on top of the leather, so that can be recolored. We can show that at another time. But really, as far as the stains, they're gone. There was a bad stain here. I think there's a tiny remnant there, which we scrubbed on it twice. I'm sure we could hit it again and do well. So there's a few spots on here we could probably re-clean and get a little better, but to just kind of do it a once over, pretty amazing stuff. Now we did go through on that seat, goodness, we did one other seat, so about a half a bottle for the rear seats. So you'd probably go through, if you had a very heavily stained vehicle like this one is, you'd probably go through a bottle just on that one vehicle. So take that into account for sure, but definitely did a great job. Our before after with our split line, I think was pretty drastic results. But as you can see here, it's cleaned up the boxing, the bolsters, the leather itself very well. Well, I think the product did quite amazing. Amazing, is that fair? I mean, I think it did really, really well. Better than we expected, and quite frankly, better than the other products we were trying. We were trying some home remedy stuff, some stuff we use on typical vinyl seats and that sort of thing. But as I mentioned, you can really get in trouble when you're spraying that type of stuff on leather. You get too harsh of a chemical on leather and you'll really stain it, mess it up, and then it's hard to come back from, if at all. So this did a great job of cleaning both the leather and the vinyl, and really any hard plastics or anything else. So basically that's what this is. If you look at it, it said it's for cleaning plastics, leather, vinyl, fabrics, that sort of thing. Now here's the kicker on this. 22 bucks for this bottle. I think it's, 16? Yeah, 16 ounces, and it's $21, $21.99, so like 22 bucks. That's pretty stout. I mean, typically you'd pay for a cleaning bottle, what, $3, $4, $5, maybe $6 for something like this. So spending $22, pretty steep. However, it did the job we needed it to do. And it was a very rough interior. So if you looked at having to spend 22 bucks for the entire vehicle, and it was pretty bad, but brought it back to acceptable when it was basically ready to burn, then all of a sudden that 22 bucks doesn't look terribly bad. So take that as you may. I will tell you, performance-wise, it did really, really well. Really easy to use. We even left it on longer than what they talked about and let it dry out, and then just kind of sprayed some on it to kind of, I would say, reactivate it, and it worked well. It also worked well keeping it wet. But anyway, very happy with the product. Again, Lithium Auto Elixirs. We'll have a link in the description where you can buy it on Amazon. Also, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already? And by all means, if you hated our video, give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.